Welcome to Blooms and Petals.
Local business owner Paula Davis hasn't just operated her flower business, Blooms and Petals, for more than 20 years. She's also been a trailblazer in the community.
Just amazed that my community would feel that I was worthy of this distinction. Thank you isn't enough. I wish I could take some of the stress.
Davis was nominated as a Salute to Women honoree. Last year, during the pandemic, she started the Good Samaritan Project, bringing flowers, snacks, smiles, and sentiments to heroes in the community.
The concept really came out of how do we as a community weather this pandemic, this crisis that we don't know anything about. And to me, the answer was simple: encouragement. It takes all of us to weather this issue. This is not a small thing here, and I'm really proud of the way our community came together to support each other and to keep our community safe.
And while we're not sure where she gets all the energy from to do what she does, she's tireless for a greater purpose.
Every time I can encourage someone, every time I can help build someone up, that's hope, and that gives me hope to want to get up and fight the next day.
In Lafayette, Marvin Bills, News 18. We all know the saying, not all heroes wear capes, and for Amanda Balzer, it's true. She's a Salute to Women honoree.
We felt like it was a team effort with the health department.
Amanda is the executive assistant for the Tippecanoe County Health Department. When the world was in the middle of a pandemic fighting COVID-19, Amanda was on the front lines.
None of us had been through a pandemic, so I guess it was just hopefully making sure that we were making the right decisions.
Amanda helped form a tireless team that continues to lead Tippecanoe County through the pandemic with policies establishing temporary emergency shelters and setting up vaccination and testing sites.
Making sure that every piece was put together in the puzzle. You just wanted to make sure that you weren't forgetting about something.
She's grateful that the team's efforts are being recognized.
It was really tough. A lot of people were upset at certain things. They thought you were doing too much. They didn't think you were doing enough. So it's nice to know that people thought that we actually did what we were supposed to.
In Lafayette, Marvin Bills, News 18.
Yeah, Monday night I had the chills, I had a fever. My wife.
Meet Dr. Dorothy Reed. She's retired from Purdue University after serving as the Assistant Dean for Engagement for over a decade. Her time spent on campus was nothing short of inspirational.
My first job at Purdue was as an academic advisor in the College of Liberal Arts years ago. And that's where I cultivated some really great friendships and really my professional skills.
She was then the Assistant Provost heading the university's diversity efforts.
That led to my working with the LGBTQ advisory group. I actually formed that first group, and we wrote a paper, a white paper to address the needs of the LGBTQ community here in not only Lafayette, but at Purdue University.
Dr. Reed says her life work has always been centered around helping and mentoring people, and her reward?
When I see the success stories, I hear from students I worked with 30 years ago who find me on LinkedIn or Facebook, and they just say, "Oh, I remember you. You helped me to finish up my degree. I'm so appreciative." That keeps me going because I know there's one more person out there that I can help and mentor in the right direction.
In West Lafayette, Marvin Bills, News 18.
I was a little shocked, honestly.
Administrator for the Tippecanoe County Health Department, Kayla Holstedler, is known for helping lead the way as the world faced a pandemic.
I was the nursing supervisor before, but 2020 was my first year as the administrator. So it was a hard and shocking first year.
Kayla helped develop and redevelop policies that were aimed at keeping people safe by assembling a strong team.
The health department has less than 30 staff members. And that's not even 30 full-time staff members.
The team took on contact tracing, holding weekly press briefings, managing the call center, delivering groceries, coordinating care. The list goes on, but the best part, all of it was selfless.
If I see a need in the community, I have the freedom to develop like a policy and procedure on how the health department would respond.
Kayla says she's honored to be among so many other women making a difference, and she's glad she could make one too.
Still going to show up every day and just try to serve our community the best that we can.
In Tippecanoe County, Marvin Bills, News 18. Major General Erika Steuterman, a community warrior. I call her Superwoman. After serving the country for more than 30 years as a Major General in the United States Air Force, she came back home to serve her community.
I love the community spirit.
Major Steuterman earned 12 major awards and decorations, including the Defense Superior Service Medal from the Secretary of Defense during the global war on terror. She says she learned a lot during her years in the military.
It was really an interesting time for a woman to join the military, especially as an officer. And I loved it. I loved having command. I loved being responsible for the people who worked for me.
Major Steuterman serves on many boards, including United Way of Greater Lafayette, Friendship House, Tippecanoe County Sheriff's Merit Board, Wabash Center, and Purdue Mortar Board and Arc of Indiana.
You know what you can do. And when it's really important, you find the strength and the energy and the willpower to do whatever needs to be done. It doesn't matter what it takes out of you personally, you do it because it's the right thing to do.
In Tippecanoe County, Marvin Bills, News 18. Mallory Walker. Her smile lights up the room just like her work in the community does.
The work that I do for IU Health and in the community, it's just a passion of mine, and it's what I do from my heart.
Mallory is a pediatric nurse practitioner at IU Health Arnett and the lead advanced practice provider for maternal child health.
I take care of kids for a living, so that's pretty special. And I think it takes a special skill set because the kids that I get to take care of range from newborns, so like 2 or 3 days old, to through college age.
Mallory's work doesn't stick within the walls of the hospital. She's also a lecturer at Purdue University and the coach of the Purdue University dance team.
It's really important for me to live my life in a way that is honoring to my parents, my faith, and for people to see that and know that when they're in my care or when they're around me or working with me, that's what they're going to get from me.
Mallory says helping others recharges her passion to keep doing it.
To be able to help like a child who's sick, to help them get better, or in volunteering, I do some work in Haiti, and to go and to help make a young child's life just a little bit better by whether that's making a beaded necklace or a craft or drawing something with them.
In Lafayette, Marvin Bills, News 18. Lorie Amick has been leaving her mark on the community in creative and captivating ways for years.
I am so passionate about art and all aspects of art, and passionate about the community, and the two combined is just something that really makes me happy and that I've been working on for a long time.
Amick is the co-founder of Artist Own in downtown Lafayette, a place that showcases local art. She currently teaches watercolor at the Art Museum of Greater Lafayette.
I love making art, I love viewing art, I love the way that art can impact people. It can make me happy, it can make me sad, it can tell a story, it can take me to a different place.
Lorie says art is so special that it played an important role during the pandemic for some people.
Sometimes art can be uncomfortable, and sometimes it can be a place where we come for comfort. And for me, during that pandemic, that's what I was looking for. I was looking for a safe place because everything else seemed so unsafe.
She says the pandemic didn't affect art, but the viewers.
To come through this exhibit, which has 110 years worth of art, to find a piece that we can relate to, that has meaning, I think people are more open to doing that. We've seen a lot of people come through that don't normally come here.
Her love of art has made a reputable difference in the community, a difference she plans to keep making. In Lafayette, Marvin Bills, News 18. Grace Payton has been with the Tippecanoe County Health Department for 3 years, earning her Certified Addiction Peer Recovery Coach credential. That's a credential only for those who have personally lived through an experience of recovery.
I have experience with, like, in my personal life, my family, with substance use issues, mental health issues, and so it's just one of those things that I'm passionate about.
Turning her life around, Grace was a recovery coach for Gateway to Hope Syringe Service Program for 3 years, recently promoted to harm reduction and program manager.
When people have that self-efficacy and take that on and, like, get their power back, that's my number one. Like, I love just watching that happen.
She's proud she's able to be there for others and share with them how they may gain control over their life just as she did.
I know that I love the partners that we have here. I don't plan on running away anytime soon. I want to see what Lafayette can grow into, because even the past 3 years, so much has happened, so much has changed.
In Lafayette, Marvin Bills, News 18. This is not Tracy Dodd's first rodeo.
This is not my first rodeo. No, it is not.
She was one of the first women to cover sports for a major publication, the Milwaukee Journal.
I went to Indiana University, and while I was there, said, you know, I really would like to be a sports writer, but there weren't any women doing it.
But this Lafayette native didn't let it stop her. She's covered college football and basketball, including Final Four tournaments and the Rose, Orange, Sugar, and Cotton Bowl.
It was brutal out there. It was rather brutal. And I was often the first on whatever scene it was. You know, if it's the Rose Bowl, I'm the first one. If it's the Orange Bowl, now I'm the first one again.
Being a woman, she never let it stop her.
My philosophy always was, get the story, get a good story in the paper, and then no one can say you can't do this job.
That attitude carried her far, making her the first woman to be inducted into the Indiana Sports Writers and Sportscasters Hall of Fame. Dodds is also commonly known for her coverage of UCLA basketball star and coach Larry Farmer.
He came from nowhere. He came out of nowhere. He was a junior in high school, Manual High School in Denver, when he decided he wanted to go to UCLA.
She says all of her life experiences taught her the most important life lesson.
You know what you can do, just go and do it. And when they ask you, are you good enough to do this? Say yes. I am.
West Lafayette, Marvin Bills, News 18.